My dog and I, we both have our period as I'm making this entry. So, forgive any background noises. It's her licking her period. I just caught her going to my bed and licking my overnight period blood stain on my bed. So that's how eventful today, as I'm making this entry, was. So I'm going to basically review my healing exercise that I have talked about in a previous entry. So, I played back, basically a video that I made for myself. I basically got into character of the person that I could only fantasize apologizing to me. I'm not gonna lie, in a way, replaying that apology, granted I was playing a character for this video that I made strictly for myself. Sorry, no offense. Simply because you don't deserve to, see all my nasty laundry. I'd rather not put you through that. My dog just stopped wondering what I'm doing with my phone, but yeah, you know what? She's gonna make an appearance in the Lighthouse Diary. How about that? Hey, you're a guest in the Lighthouse Diary. Okay, she's kind of shy. It's alright. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I've had mixed feelings with basically my self-apology. The main thing that I was feeling as I was watching back that video, for myself and my eyes only, and my ears only, just this feeling of I wish this took place in real life, but it didn't. But at the same time, there was also that feeling of, okay, at least I have some kind of resolution, some feeling of resolution or closure, even if it's just a private thing, I mean, granted, to be fair, it's not like I expect, someone to apologize to me for the whole world to see, it's a huge display of whatever. I obviously don't expect that. Apology should always, in terms of non-public figures, should always be, a private thing as far as I'm concerned. But yeah. And I guess I won't even lie to you. On a daily basis, or at least so far, I just constantly feel disappointed in myself. I just accepted that, you know what, this has been a constant in my life. I pray that it's not a constant in my life where I'm just always disappointed in myself and disappointed in, what change or, little change or lack thereof that I've made in my life. Again, I'm not trying to promote ideation or anything like that. I'm not gonna lie, I've had ideation maybe sometime last week for like a split second, but it was just really quick. But yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not gonna, again, not go into the nitty gritty because you don't deserve to see my nasty laundry, even though I just talked about me and my dog having our periods at the same time. But yeah, honestly, all that I have the guts to say right now in terms of my state is that I don't know for how much longer I can put up with disappointing myself. But at the same time, I know that trying to be a bit of a perfectionist isn't sustainable for me either, so there's this constant, struggle within myself. Oh, I think. Hold on just a second. Yeah, my dog is just trying to protect the house right now. Don't mind. The thing is, I want to take it easy on myself, but I also accept that the world isn't going to take it easy on me. And being the way that I am, being so flawed, being so imperfect, being so unfitting, for nicer words, in this world, I don't know what to do. One moment I'm told that, if I just keep pushing, everything will be okay. And then another moment, something tells me to stop pushing so hard. I don't know. I just don't know how to feel, what to think, what to do. I was thinking for quite some months, like, okay, how about I just stock shelves in a grocery store or something? And then as I passed by how many grocery stores while I would go for a walk, I would just feel so overwhelmed seeing all those customers and getting those crazy customer service flashbacks. Oh my gosh, my dog is listening. Thank you. I'm petting her right now. She's just, oh my gosh, she's just the sweetest thing. She's an angel dog. But yeah, I can totally understand where people come from. I'm not trying not to be too detailed. I can understand, people when they talk about how life is just so confusing, I guess. And it's just a huge struggle for a lot of us, and I can understand why these kinds of people would be too pessimistic to, put someone else through this kind of process of struggling to find who you are, struggling to find a place in this world, struggling to find satisfaction and security. And I get that. I don't mean to give in to that, mentality. But I've been honestly entertaining that kind of mindset myself. Why would I want to put someone else through this? And I guess another thing that I'm struggling a lot with, again, not to get too specific, but let's just say that a lot of things that I used to see as sacred suddenly aren't sacred to me anymore. And in that sense, I'm very much heartbroken. And yeah, just hopeless in terms of, just things that I thought were for me. I don't know if these sacred things that I have in mind will ever be for me, if I'm being completely honest, and I'm trying to make peace with the possibility of, those dreams never happening, because I'm gonna be honest, there were a great plenty of, dreams and ideas that never came to pass for me. And funny enough, what a lot of ordinary people would consider, such a simple task, for me, by my definition, would be a dream of mine. But even the simplest task I can't even accomplish for some strange reason. I don't know. Yeah, even if, I'm gonna be honest, even if it's something that I enjoy doing, I'm still not good at it. Or at least that's what it looks like. I'm just not particularly great at anything. I used to think I was, and I thought, you know what, as a child, maybe I'm not brilliant at a lot of things, but maybe I'll find something as an adult where I am a lot happier. And now I am an adult, or, a legal adult. I'm not the epitome of adulthood, but nevertheless, I am, a legal adult. I still haven't found my place, and I don't know if I ever will. I don't know. I used to try to go off and I tried to use my voice just to defend myself and what have you, and I'm starting to lose reasons to defend myself. I don't have a lot going on for myself. I'll admit that if you were to put my life against, a teenager, that teenager would be doing a hell of a lot better than me, and I admit that, and I accept that. It's embarrassing, but it's true. By society's standards, am a failure. I am. And I'm gonna be honest, I resent myself for it. I wish that I could say that it's my fault that I'm a failure, but if I'm being completely honest, again, not to blame anyone or anything, but when it comes to my independence and when it comes to my autonomy, I'm not the luckiest person. I'm not trying to make this a self-pity kind of thing, but objectively, when you were to compare, how much effort I would put in just to compensate for what lack of giftedness I have. There was little to no reward, little to no acclaim. Again, that shouldn't be anyone's motivation in life, in my humble opinion. You should just do things because you want to, But when you're so used to not having much earned on your part and having, others tell you that, you don't mean much to others, or what you do doesn't mean a lot to others, or that you're just not the type of person that wonderful things happen to. It's scary. It's terrifying to face that every day. And I pray to God that as you're watching this, that you don't resonate with this whatsoever, because, I don't want to make your life worse than, I'd much rather be the person on this earth that has the most pathetic life than have someone else's life be pathetic with mine. Especially yours, I wouldn't wish that for you. You would be the last person I would wish that on. Well, I guess my dog kind of understands what I'm talking about, even though, these issues aren't even hers. I feel bad, but there she goes. It's too early for anyone to be home. Yeah, it's way too early. Smile till your heart is breaking. And that's the thing that, I do acknowledge that I am lucky in the sense that I have, all my physical needs met, even though I haven't earned it. But because I haven't earned a lot for myself, if I'm being completely honest, compared to other people, my emotional needs aren't met. Or at least they aren't being met as I'm, recording this entry. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of my life. I know that, anyone could easily come up to me and be like, you graduated school, you just started your career, your life is just beginning. What is there to feel bad about? Well, it's pretty simple, from where I stand, where it's easy to, look back on a life, on a on a whole youth of being told that you suck by peers, by teachers, by bosses, by lovers, even. All, well, not all, but almost all of them telling you that you haven't done much with your life. Regardless of how hard you try. Well, how hard I've tried it. It's just, I haven't had what it took to be worthy. I hope that I wake up one morning and suddenly I am worthy of what I was trying to do in the past, but failed to acquire. But until then, I don't know what's gonna happen to me. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to help my parents when they when they reach retiring age. I don't even know if I'll be able to stand on my own 2 feet by then. That's how scared I am. I mean, don't get me wrong, there have been people who would appreciate me, but it's hard for me to decipher what, like, those who were sincere and those who just felt bad for me. It's hard to tell them apart. And I understand where, my friend was coming from when he was saying, you know what, those people who were encouraging you, it should always outweigh those who were discouraging you, but he hasn't, not to, invalidate his life experience, but he hasn't been in my shoes where there was always somebody reminding you that your dreams ended up mostly always happening to someone else. And I know that wasn't, there are exceptions to that, and I do take note of that for sure. At the same time, I do admit that I have lived out some of my dreams, even if it wasn't, to the most extreme and extravagant extent. I do acknowledge that, and I am grateful for those times as well. But I guess, as I'm recording this, it just feels like I have plenty of teeny tiny successes, and at the same time, plenty of really big failures. So it's really hard to see the good outweighing the bad right now. I just hope that your life, your independent life, and your goal, your goals, and like going after them and achieving them and pursuing them, I hope it's going a lot better than mine is. But yeah, until I wake up and one morning and suddenly I'm worthy of what I've been trying for, my best option, I feel, would just to kind of, yeah, still, aspire to have enough to live on my own 2 feet. But I know it's kind of pathetic, but for some years now, I've been aspiring to isolate my life away from relatives and old friends just so that they don't have to keep watching me constantly fail and constantly be a loser. And I guess I apologize for you stumbling upon this and having to hear me be brutally honest that I'm a loser in society. And I have no solution by far as an alternative to finding a way to eventually isolate on my own 2 feet. Just to spare myself any further humiliation in front of my loved ones or those who have claimed that they loved me, however you want to put it. Again, I hope your life is looking a lot less pathetic compared to mine. I hope this wasn't too much of a downer, but I just felt like expressing what I was feeling, so yeah, don't feel obligated to, perform any perform any magical rituals or whatever, but if you do feel, so inclined, I wouldn't mind if you prayed for me, because clearly I'm gonna need a lot of prayer, especially because, coming from a Catholic upbringing, I am well aware that I am not a very prime example of a godly woman, and I admit that, I accept that. It doesn't mean that, I don't still have love for, my more conservative brothers and sisters. I still send them my full support because I want them to succeed in maintaining their conservative beliefs, simply because I failed to do that as well. And as long as they thrive in holding on to what they were taught and what they believe for themselves, then in my eyes that's comforting to me, that they had that spiritual success that I failed to attain, that they have salvation even if I don't end up getting it. Gosh, this was so heavy. I was not planning to mention that specific part, but it just happened. You know what? Go after this. You're probably gonna do something fun or watch something fun and just live a better life than me. Because just by you watching this entry, I can already tell that you are a billion times better than I could ever dream myself to be. Let's put it that way. And I'm not trying to be self-deprecating. It's just my mood right now. That's just how I feel right now as I'm recording this. So, yeah. Don't cry for me. I highly doubt that your name is Argentina. That was so bad. But yeah, like I said before, if you do feel so inclined to support me, just pray for me. And that's more than enough. Thank you for chilling with me once again in the Lighthouse Diary with my dog as a special guest. And I pray that the next entry will be a lot happier and a lot more optimistic than this one was. So stay safe, stay cozy, stay sincere to your gorgeous self. And as usual, mwah, mwah.